Okay, great. Then let's start. I am Simon, and I will talk today about our product HoloBuilder and how we use it to help construction people to do their job better and more efficient. Maybe a little bit about the last year. So we were not here the first time. We were here like four or five times now. This is an image from last year. I took it with a camera like this here. This was a Ricoh Theta back then. So it's a 360 image, and you capture the whole. I mean, probably you know the Theta and other 360 cameras. This is an LG 360, maybe say cheese. And what we do, we started originally as an AR company, so we had an authoring tool for augmented reality, and I want to talk a little bit about how we shifted that focus in the virtual reality direction and what our current customers are doing with it. Maybe first a little bit background. The year was quite interesting. There was a lot of acquisitions, new technology, especially in the VR market. This whole VR hype really started now. The HTC Vive came out. If you didn't try it, go to the exhibition hall and check out the different demos. It's really great. For example, the bicycle stuff is really, really fun. We had the HoloLens, Magic Leap hype, things like that. But in the end, at least AR is not really at the level of consumer yet, in our opinion. So there are not so many business applications who really can make a lot of money. It's most use cases and special demos for specific types, but not really scalable models. So what we instead did, we said, okay, we have built this tool for augmented reality creation, content creation in the browser, and after time we said, okay, we will add to this ability also the way that you can create virtual reality content. So I will show you a little example in a few minutes. First, maybe what we did here is we took this capability and extended it and looked for a focus market, the construction companies, where we were able to focus on some real pain points which are there right now and solve these. I will show a short video here. A little bit louder. This is our CEO sitting right there.
From design to construction to real estate and property management, HoloBuilder disrupts the entire building life. Manage imagery data throughout the duration of the construction project and make this content easily accessible and available for decades to come.
Problem with construction sites like this one is that work doesn't come to the people. People have to go to it. And this bears many costs for the managers, owners, project managers to be on site.
Really what we want to do is to take the information on site and make it visible to everyone on the project. And here in the support office, this site, we're about 200 people, different engineers, project managers, and administrators. A lot of them don't get the time to be out on site and understand what's going on. So our process is very simple. We have an intern who goes around and take pictures in the locations that we find strategic. So you can click on any of the floors. We have one on this particular example. We have one hollow for each of the floors. You can click on them. We just click there, and right away you can look around and see what's going on this particular floor, and it happened to be level 4. So the intern puts a couple of information boxes and wayfinding in there.
It's a fast-growing $7 trillion global market with a wealth of unsolved problems, and we are going for it.
Okay, so I hope the general idea got a little bit clearer. The construction worker goes around, take pictures with this 360 camera, and later anybody is able to consume it. The people don't have to go out to the construction site anymore, can be used for documentation, insurance cases, all this just with this online tool. And the idea is really that you can import any type of content, so 360 images, 3D models, BIM models. So whatever you have on content, you put it in HoloBuilder and you compose it together to a virtual tour to a virtual scene. And here are a few more examples what you can do with it. So of course you have the 360 scenes. You can connect them with links. You can embed any type of 3D content in the scene. This is now a few links, so you can link two scenes together. On the right side, there's an example scene you can open on your smartphone and browse through it if you want to. You have this floor plan feature up there, so you can easily position and later relocate this single scenes and browse between them. And this is all running in the browser, so we are using WebGL, and the user doesn't have to install anything, which is often a huge pain point. You can consume it directly. In the end, you get a link after you created this tour, and you can send it to any of your coworkers, and they just open it in their browser and consume it there, like you could, for example, if you go to the link. And yeah, you can embed 3D text, 3D models, whatever you want. We added a feature to measure distances in the images so that the workers can define heights, things like that, check if everything is correct like it should be. And of course, we also, that's the virtual reality part, we make it able to consume it in the browser with your cardboard. So because the browser can access every single thing he needs, the sensors, the graphics API, you can just put it in your cardboard and consume it right out of your browser without installing anything. So yeah, you have this 360 scenes. As I said in the beginning, we started with augmented reality, so it's also possible to combine it with other pure 3D models. For example, if you have a CAD model of the building, you can insert it as a first slide, but in the end, this 360 feature is really what our customers currently are using most. And we have this different type of easy interactions you can do with the slides. So you can link, of course, them. You can embed any links. You can add tasks to single slides and information, warnings. So you can really annotate instead of just consume the images you took. And yeah, the floor plan is another really useful feature to navigate around this complex scene. So if you have a big construction site with 200 of these photos you took, it's really useful to be able to fastly navigate using such a floor plan feature. And of course, yeah, as I said, embed any type of 3D, 2D content. We really try to keep this workflow open there for you to be able to do whatever you want with the platform. Construction is, of course, only one example. Real estate is then the next step, and you can do it, can use it, of course, for any other virtual reality scenario as well. But as I said, construction sites, there we think is currently the most potential behind it. That's why we started with this focus. And you can define scenes, so different areas in the image, and with a little bit of math, we can actually calculate size of the distances in the image by letting you define the walls of the scene and giving a reference height. And then you can measure any type of distance, volume, whatever you want, so the workers can really use it to check if the construction site is at a state where they want it to be, if the door is at the correct position, if it has the correct height, things like that. Yeah, we already have a few customers using it, so really big construction and real estate firms are already getting on it. So it's actually, we didn't came up with this idea originally. We created the platform, and then these companies came to us and said, okay, we really think it's great, and that's how we figured out where the real pain points of our customers are. So instead of creating a product and thinking, okay, this is something the customer will need, we tried to make it then the other way around and listen to the customers and focus to get the product at a point where they can really use it and live from this feedback from them. Yeah, and that's one example, the job box. So the construction firms take weekly images, and they can this way create a virtual representation of the construction site and people don't have to drive out to the construction site anymore. They can just check if the current state of the construction site is like they want it to be. We have other scenarios like the annotation. They can easily put things in here like remove this wall again. It's 7 centimeters too far away, something like this. And area viewing is another good example where they take drones with these 360 cameras attached to them, so they get a really good overview about the construction site, which they wouldn't be able to do without such a tool. And of course, it's really easy to do that. So the platform itself is free. You can go to it and try it out yourself. You can take 360 images with very many different cameras like this one. The Theta is also very cheap. You can even use your normal smartphone to take these pictures. So it's a really easy entry point for any new user to create such virtual tours. Yeah, and now we are already at my last slides. As a summary, again, we try to focus on what is really currently the pain points of our users and not try to invent something which might be interesting for users, but instead live off this feedback and build a product which is usable right now. Yeah, you can try it yourself. As I said, it has a free model, so you can create as many tours here. We will also post something on Twitter later. And that's it. Thanks.